Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Dreamboat. I'm here with Avril once again for the second straight night. We are here for some awesome ozfortress Heroes League action. How are you doing, Avril?
How are you doing, Dreamboat? I'm doing good. Here we go, night number 2 for week 3 of ozfortress Heroes League. 2 in a row. We're going back to back, Dreamboat. You and me down for this again. Have you got some pants on tonight?
I don't have pants on. I got shorts on. I'm sorry for disappointing you, but I am here. This time you did not roll me out of bed. I am awake and ready to go.
So ready. You are so ready for this. And you know, I don't know if anyone, for whoever watched last night's game, without giving away too many spoilers, the team we expected to win won pretty hard, but tonight I'm expecting the games to be pretty close. This is the one I've been really waiting for. When we had looked over the match listings of who was going to play each other for this week, and I saw Orbit GG versus Quentiam, I said this is going to be the match of the week, being that these two teams I think will be the closest match together.
And the nice thing here too, Avril, is both teams, or all four teams tonight, I guess, seemed to take my advice last night. None of them have pulled out. We have 2 games for you as opposed to just 1 last night.
Yeah. 2 full matches, and yeah, I'm glad the teams are finally seeing some stability in the teams. Hopefully no one's having a baby tonight, no one's having any sort of emergencies. We're just going to go straight in, 2 matches back to back, Dreamboat and Avril kicking it off, night number 2, week 3 Heroes League.
Yeah, we got a doozy here. Orbit GG versus Quentiam here on Ilios.
So Ilios is again one of those maps where, you know, it's a very frag heavy map, and I think the big players we're going to watch out for is Efi and Daft on the side of on Orbit GG, and Slidzorge. I really should have asked him how to say that name. Slidzorge and Shu are going to be the players to watch out on the side of Quentiam. But you know, I've played against these guys, Daft and Efi, and I think Daft is an incredibly threatening Pharaoh player. I haven't seen Slidzorge. I'm not going to call him say Slid. I haven't seen him on a Pharaoh yet. I don't know what else they might be pulling out tonight, but Daft on the Pharaoh is definitely something I'm going to watch out for tonight.
Well, and Slid has swapped off to Reaper. I was going to say I am very heavily looking forward on this map specifically. Zoom in Daft and Jake as we are live here for the knockoffs. And Daft throwing some rockets here early on. Shu right behind Tracer doing some good chip damage. No one's gone down, but Kiki is so low. That is the Zarya. And it's the Winston. Slaposaurus being taken out instantly by some good Reaper play as they're looking for more. They are not done. The opponent is about to unlock. Efi down, Blakey down, Jake down. Slid doing all kinds of work, reaping.
It looks like he made the correct decision here. He did mouse over the Pharaoh pick early on in this, while the teams were in the lobby still, while they're waiting for the match to start, and now he's gone into the Reap, and the pick really worked out for him. You'll notice the big difference between the teams here at the moment is that Shu is on the Tracer. Orbit are opting not to go for a Tracer this game. They do have the Pharaoh instead, so in a way, I kind of do value Pharaoh on this map.
Yeah, Pharaoh, and especially as we're seeing Daft doing some good work with it, can be very effective. But Blakey grabbing more, and now it's the Justice raining in. But a revive is going to totally deny that here. The point is starting to be some presence here from the boys in blue.
Yeah, Quentiam are not going to take this one. Orbit having not the best start. They got locked out by Slid really early. Slid getting that double kill. And Shu on the backline. You actually saw Shu going all the way into the house, pretty much at the entrance of blue side of the Orbit side. And Orbit, obviously, as a Tracer, you get there so quick that you don't even realize that she's there, flanking from the side. Orbit just reconsolidating and doing a pretty good push here. They're not going to be ahead in the progress meter at 33%. And here comes Quentiam for their push number 2. Ultis are going to go down. Soundwave in return from Orbit, but 2 players on the side of Orbit already dead. 3 players now.
Rest in peace, Zoom in. He lost the Lucio duel and he got launched off a cliff there. And more people going off cliffs. That's Slaposaurus. Well, I mean, living up to his name, knocking people around here as he is Winston on this point, trying to take out what he can. And there's Evie on 76, will be taken out, but a revive here coming in clutch for Orbit.
Twiggy is actually still on the point at the moment. The point is still in the favor of Orbit. They got the plays on the point right now. Twiggy's trying to push a couple of plays off. Daft is saying he's not having any of that because he's just flying as a Pharah. No one really contesting Daft at the moment. You'll see actually on the Quentiam side, they are lacking hit scan players, so no one is effectively able to contest the Pharah. And yeah, Orbit once again, successful hold. They're now on 80%. One more push really left for Quentiam. They got one push, and then they have one overtime push that they might be able to do. We might be starting to see some desperation plays come out for Quentiam pretty soon.
And here comes that Orbit defense coming in here. They're doing exactly everything they can. Grabbing Kiki is a huge opener here, but they dropped their mercy. But Blakey and Evie come back for a few more. Even though the revive comes out here, this is still looking very good for Orbit. How's it gonna go here? And it's Lucio down Daft with the 3K.
That 3K on the Pharah, like once again, I'm saying, you look at the Quentiam's lineup and you have a Tracer and it's really good, but it's not able to effectively deal with this Pharah. In fact, none of the heroes on the Quentiam side could really do it. They had a Reaper and a Tracer, and then they went for the Xayah, so no real hit scan pressure on Daft. And I think Daft had a pretty, mostly easy game. And now we're going to see another pretty much a Pharah-friendly map, and actually this is a good one for Widowmaker as well, as you're seeing Shu now hovering over that hero, ready in the spawn, ready to go out with that. Quentiam also opting to drop out the Reaper for this, so we'll see how they do with that. Orbit also dropping out the Reaper now. I actually feel like the Reapers did really big jobs on that last map. Now that we're into Ruins, we'll see how both teams do without the Reapers.
And I'm looking to see how Shu does here, where he goes as Widowmaker. Looks like he's going up into the tree spot. There's a tree there that is very hard to see through. Really good defensive position there, long range sight lines. So that's going to be crucial to see how Shu opens things up here. He's done a little bit of early damage here. And Twiggy's jumping forward as they're playing around this health pack. No one has gotten the better of this fight yet. Twiggy is not in the best health, but neither are people on Orbit. But it's Daft grabbing Twiggy. First pick there, and Slaposaurus is right in here on the Widowmaker. He's trying to grab what he can, but he's taking out, but Blakey on the other side grabs two of them. Daft grabbing three, Blakey gets a third.
Well, it was a really interesting team play coming from Orbit. They had the Pharah, and they had the most of their team Daft on the right side on the health pack side, and then you see Slaposaurus on the top left area, not locking down Shu and a couple of other players, and it really forced Quentiam to split their attention across two sides of the map. You had the Winston on the right side who were pressuring your Widow, and then everyone else on the left, and you know, Orbit just taking advantage of basically distracting a bunch of players on one side and killing the players on the other.
Well, Quentiam's moving in here, and it's slid on the Pharah, trying to do what he can. Kiki helping down, though. And now here comes Daft with a great denial there. Not before I grab two of them. And the counter coming in from Slid. Grabs three of them with Shu grabbing two. Those are massive.
There is a resurrection coming from Orbit. They will be staying in this fight. Daft is still alive now. If Shu's alive, Shu can definitely contest Daft, and so he does. Daft, however, will trade into Slid, so there we go. We finally have the Pharah counter coming into play, and Shu's actually doing a lot of work. He's picked up 4 kills in the last 30 seconds. Being pressured now by Slaposaurus. Orbit really want to come in and defend this point. The point is still kept in the favor of Orbit at the moment. Slaposaurus will take down Shu for that.
Well, maybe Orbit, but those were some out-of-this-world plays from Shu, doing everything he can to keep Quentiam in it, and it's doing good work at this point. So, somehow, still in Orbit possession.
Yeah, Slaposaurus really did a really good job of maintaining that point there, and 80% now for Orbit. Quentiam need to find somewhere, need to find some room in here, get the frags and get the cap. They're running out of progress. Another resurrection, the second one in a row just to kill this defense.
But it's Shu! The High Noon grabbing 3 of them. That's Daft, Blakey, and Jake all down for one hell of a High Noon. And now the breakdown's coming. They are finally going to cap this point.
4th kill onto Shu. He's doing so much work right now. That swap onto the McCree. Who knew this was going to be so dominant? The one thing I'll notice about McCree is that McCree's actually going to be good for countering both Daft and Blakey. You have the Tracer and the Pharah, both able to get
okay,
down.
Hold on. Twiggy,
Twiggy
falling off a cliff as Winston. Bro, that's not how you play this game, man.
Tactical suicide? Question mark? Slaposaurus going on deep now, monkey mode. He's raging.
Oh, but now we have the ults coming out there, and that's Daft and Slaposaurus grabbing two of them as Orbit are just going to lock down this point, but the res coming in here. But this does not matter. People are still going down for Quentiam. It needs to be great. And Slit only grabbing one on his ult is not enough. But what can Chu get? He does not get anything. He gets nothing.
Slaposaurus's shield there completely denying Shu's high noon, and overtime 99%. Quentiam are now on desperation mode. They need to get their players in. Their Kiki once again. Zuman's doing a really good job of holding at the moment though. BIM coming in as well. Blakey trying to get a couple of frags here. Jake's being a bit of a hero. He's trying to defend. Here come the Orbit players. Stream back in now. Daft and Effie on the sidelines. They're getting a lot of frags. Effie takes down Zuman. Who's left? Just Slits off. Here comes Twiggy in as well. He's the only player. Shield's going to go down. Can he hold it? Shu's also going to come in from the backside.
Shu, I don't think he can get there. He's stuck. He can't get in. No, he does. That should be all she wrote here. They're trying to block Kiki off, and they are going to do it. That is map number 1 to Orbit.
Wow, as much work as Shu did there, it just slightly wasn't enough. He really demolished Orbit for a couple of points there, for a couple of the fights. Picked up 3 kills, 4 kills, but it was in those final moments, I think, Quentiam not able to hold on to the point there, losing the point to Orbit when it was already on 80% plus on progress meant that really if they didn't immediately win another fight, that was it.
And I just want to talk about that play of the game right there briefly, because Slaposaurus living up to his name, slapping 2 off the cliff to make it, you know, to really win it. That was insane.
Living up to his name a little bit more, Slaposaurus is also the Reinhardt player, so in the coming map, he'll also be slapping people with that mighty hammer on the Reinhardt. Something to look out for. Definitely a very talented tank player. I'm going to say that the Winston bubbles towards the final parts of that fight, especially the one that blocked Shu's ultimate, was really critical for Orbit winning the final fights to secure the ruins.
And the thing is too is, as you say, Slap will be playing that Reinhardt, and he's going to be crucial if Quentiam want to take the second map here. You know, he's going to have to be to really stop their momentum. He's going to have to be like, oh, like, hey, guess what? I'm Reinhardt, and stop. It's hammer time.
So here we go, Hollywood. We did see Shu snipe a little bit here, so the possibility to see Shu snipe again on Hollywood is definitely up there. I mentioned last night that Hollywood, particularly the second point, is definitely a friendly sniper map, so possibly expecting Shu to be going on there. I don't know if Orbit have a sniper of their own. I know Effie is their core soldier player and Daft is an amazing Pharah player, and I expect Daft to stay on the Pharah for point number 2 and probably all points really. So interesting to see how they're going to go with their lineup in coming up to Hollywood.
One thing I look forward to see is, for those who didn't tune in last night, there were some absolutely mental plays from Termo and Snowblind. Termo would, you know, hammer down 3 guys as Reinhardt, and Snowblind would just come and clean up with a good old Death Blossom on Reaper. And they were just such an impactful duo in that game. I'm curious to see if a Reinhardt and Reaper will have the same impact in this on this game of Hollywood as it did last night.
We also see Blakey playing a couple of the DPS as well, so there is a possibility to see Orbit run a triple DPS lineup here with Blakey filling in the Reaper slot. It's possible.
And now, here we go. We are on our way to Hollywood. I think I just saw Tom Cruise walking down the street.
Yeah, a robot Tom Cruise in the world that is Overwatch. Hero of my storm, dude.
This is where we find out that Tom Cruise is actually Soldier 76, and he's not a young man anymore.
Yep, Zuman going to be potentially taking up the Symmetra on defense here. Symmetra still pretty decent on this defense. We are sort of seeing Symmetra fall out of flavor here, so let's see if he actually is going to run that. Yep, I believe he is, and Bim's going to boost him out of there. So Symmetra is going to be on this defense. Shu is going to be in the Reaper. So Reaper Reinhardt plays once again tonight, and looks like Blakey might be sniping. on the Orbit side.
Am I being trolled, or do we have an offensive Aardvark? Is there a Torbjorn?
No, I think he's just.
I
having
must be
some
being
fun in
trolled here.
Spawn. He's having
Because-
some fun in Spawn.
You know, he's trying to inspire his team because you know what Torbjorn says. Aardvark pays off. And that's exactly what he's trying to bring here. He's trying to motivate his team, showing them that Aardvark does in fact pay off.
There's apparently a competitive ranked player who only plays Torbjorn and he's ranked 75. I don't know how that happened, but there it is.
I
It's
think he
happening,
doesn't
it's happening.
actually have talent. Are you kidding? No, he swaps
so,
off.
So Blakey's gonna go on that Reaper instead. Not gonna see a Widow for the first point. I actually like that. I don't think Widow's particularly effective on the first point. Sliposaurus not even gonna go for the Reinhardt on the first push. I think they want to do a bit of a rush here. You're gonna see Winston. I want to see Winston and Farah coordinate some sort of play here with Reaper coming in from the backside. Sliposaurus running straight in onto the cafe. Blakey will pick up the first kill on Slid. Positioning looking pretty good for Orbit so far. Oh, but Quentiam trade 2 in response.
This is looking like a good defensive start here. Shoot grabs another one. Slaposaurus going down. And now it's just Jake trying to bounce around here. I don't think he can't escape shoot grabbing another.
Oh, it actually looked pretty good for Orbit as they did the first push, and Slaposaurus jumped straight onto the upper cafe. You'll actually notice all of Quentiam are basically holding the cafe. Usually teams will put the Reinhardt on the ground in front of the Hollywood cart with the shield up, but actually the whole team is pretty much in the cafe. In fact, their teleporter is even just behind the cafe in the spawn area, so they're committing a lot to this defense up in this top area. And Slaposaurus is going to jump in again, choosing not to stay for too long. Twiggy on the ground now. Kiki's going to pick up Blakey. 2 down for the side of Orbit. Are they going to pick anything up in return? It doesn't
Kiki
look good for
goes
Orbit right now.
Oh, but there is the revive here. What can Daft do? He is floating around there, and they grab the Mercy, so that is a big pick here. But Kiki grabbing Blake, and they're still going on this defense. Kiki grabs the third. Kiki, please. He's absolutely going mental right now. Holy.
Also saw an ulti from Slaposaurus there. I feel like it was a bit of a waste just because they had already sort of failed the push. Their players were picked. Even Twiggy used the hammer down there. They should have probably just fallen out and saved as many as they can. They're going to go for the exact same push again though. Slaposaurus once again running up. Shu's going to take down Lofty and Eefy.
And Slid grabbing Blakey. Shu grabs Staff. Shu going ham here. He's all over the place. Kiki grabs Slaposaurus. Slid grabbing Jake, and that's the way.
Shu, Orbit, Shu, get off my point.
I think the only thing I can do is quote one of my favorite hockey commentators, Darren Pang, with a holy jumping, man. That was, wow.
Ultimate still up on both sides here. We're 3 for 3, but 3 pushes down now before Orbit. They're looking like they want to do something different. I actually want to see Slaposaurus potentially swap off to the Reinhardt. Maybe go for a bit of a slow push here. Whatever strategy they're doing hasn't been working. Here comes a Black Hole though. Oh, the story is so different this time.
Oh, the revive's gonna wipe that out. Blakey will pick up him at the very end of that, but this defense is still alive. But more ults coming out here. Blakey grabbing more. Lofty grabs Zoomin. And that's actually the rare Mercy pick, as it's just Twiggy trying to defend, but he will go down here. Finally, they break the defense.
Not even Orbit's resurrection could have gotten them back in the game. Black Hole into the Pharaoh combo, absolutely demolishing Quentiam's defense. Now Shu's actually going to switch to the Widow pick. A couple of the Orbit guys are still pretty deep. They need to get the card up. Slaposaurus is going to get picked down by Shu. Orbit going to go on the retreat here. Zoom in wants some bit of action going in the front lines. Oh, Shu gets a second.
Shu doing work here early on, and he's even doing more damage here. He's not grabbing the kill, but he's doing so much harassment that it's very, very hard for Orbit to get onto the cart here to do anything.
He is in a bit of a forward position, and Blakey's going to snipe in response. They're saying, well, we can do it too. Kiki go pick up Eefy here. The push is starting to not look good for Orbit. Losing a player means, well, they're not really going to go for a push here. They have to wait for the respawn. Slaposaurus is going to get a little bit of a cheeky push on the card. Quentiam not really doing anything to stop this right now. Might be a bit of a mistake. This card is actually getting a lot of free movement for no response.
Oh, it's because they're holding on one rooftop.
Look
Which
at
I don't
Slaposaurus.
really like the call, but shoo! Going off. That's 2 of them. And now here comes the old slid. Grabs another one that is just a sniper he managed to grab, but 3 picks is still enough to stuff the Shu grabbing Jake. That's a Lucio down.
Shu is having a field day here.
He's doing like he's doing the Charlton or something, the little soft shoe dancing. He's going ham.
Well, they forced a pretty early ult out of Blake, out of Slaposaurus. So now he wants a bit of action on Shu. Shu's gonna jump away. Oh, it was a good, good run away from Shu there. Slaposaurus now caught pretty deep. Shu also winning the sniper duel just a bit earlier on the cut, getting nil movement now. Here comes Quentiam. They want to go on the offensive. Slid's going to be the first one to move, and Shu will pick up Daft. They have to get Shu. Someone has to deal with him.
The fact that Shu managed to evade Slaposaurus is so crucial. He finally gets taken out by Efi, but he was just doing such a good job of, salsing around in the background, dancing his way out of danger. But it's Daft here. He is the X Factor. He's breaking this push open as he grabs Shu once again. He is on a fork area. Now Slid finally starting to cancel, but Daft grabbing more. Twiggy finally grabbing him, but this is absolutely chaos as the Pharahs are taking over.
Yeah, I mean, really what happened there was Efi took down Shu and one other, I forgot who it was, right at the start of that push. That allowed Quentiam to finally get in. Sorry, that allowed Orbit rather to finally get in with their players. Dafton getting a couple of kills before Bim was able to get any reses off. Bim gets a couple of reses off the Daft, returns with the Pharaoh. Oh, and now here we go. Quentiam want to reach in the favor. Shu will take down Efi. They want to retake and defend this point. Shu is going to go for a double.
Shu and Kiki have combined for 2 kills each here, total of 4. That cripples any kind of push you're getting when, 2/3 of your team are dead. And now Shu's got a real aggressive line here too. I don't know if they see him. I think Efi does. But he's still getting some pot shots off here. But it's the Genji!
Oh,
what a reflect! The long range reflect out of the Genji as Blakey takes down Shu.
That's going to be the push. This is Orbit's push right now. They got ultis available. Efi and Blakey both have ults. They can do it. Full team wipe if they coordinate effectively. Slid needs to be their next target though. He's doing a lot of work. Here comes Blakey with a Dragon Blade. Who's he going to be able to get first? Slaposaurus also deep in there. Oh. Efi on the back line though.
Shu grabs Jake, but the revive is Efi picks off Kiki. This is looking good again for Orbit. They will finally grab this. But the revive! It's going to be huge. And break it down. This is all the breaking down. There is so much stuff happening right now, but Orbit is just going to grab. I think should grab, but it is Twiggy still trying to fight this. Kiki going down to the Genji. Crucial pick on defense. Shu, he's alone. Shu gets taken out by Genji as well. And Orbit are doing such a good job of swarming and killing. They're focusing well, and they are going to grab the point.
Blakey did an insane amount of work on those last 2 pushes. That amazing deflect. Whoa, Efi got to take down Slid just in the beginning there. But as I was saying, Blakey getting an amazing deflect kill on the Shu. That's going to open up the push for Orb to take the rest of the
Angry
point.
Monkey said it last year. He grabs 2 of them. That's Kiki and Vim, the Mercy that he grabs. He's looking for a third. He grabs the. Is he going to grab the right iron? He's trying so hard. He will not grab him.
Orbit getting a lot of deep kill. Oh, fat mid-air from Daft onto Sled. Take you down. Kiki, you want to try and do something from the side there. Slaposaurus still slapping on the left side. Here come the Quentiam players. Now they're finally going to come in for the defense, but the card is so pushed up.
Oh my god, they got so much room. Shu, though, he did this in the last map on Ilios, and he's doing it again here, doing so much damage as McCree. Kiki getting 2 as well will be good to kind of defend here a little bit longer for Quentiam.
It did look like a very optimistic push from Orbit. They got a lot of card movement, but they only pushed with 4, maybe 5 players max, trying to hold Quentiam in spawn. Obviously, it wouldn't have lasted forever. Quentiam players eventually coming out. Daft's going to take no Slid here. The fight's going to start. Shu will respond to Daft. Both the Pharaoh players going to be out here. The cart is finally moving once again. It's got a pretty decent amount of distance. Blakey wants to get a kill here, though. He will pick up Shu.
Oh, that's a crucial pick. Shu really can't be dying there because that opens things up on defense. And now Twiggy goes charging in, but he's not finding anything. And I think he just wound up feeding there. He was trying to buy time, but now it's a Kidu Kiden, or however you pronounce that, from Blakey, and he's going off. They are going to win this. This is Orbit I don't see any way they can lose this.
Yeah,
And they grab it.
Really needed another res there, but you know, even with the res, even you saw the res coming up from Quentiam, it just wasn't enough. A couple of players there, I think, might have died at ulti. I think Zoomin had an ulti, a Soundwave that could have been extremely useful for their defense, but he was picked out by, I can't remember it, but it might have been Blakey who picked him out there. But both Stu and Blakey doing insane amounts of damage, and just really, for me anyway, carrying both the attack and defense of this map.
And holy, looking at that shoe, 34 eliminations for 70 or 68% kill participation. That's just showing impact right there.
That would have been across both the Reaper and the Widow and the McCree gameplay, I suppose.
So we're not done here. We are going to defense now.
923 though. 923 defense for time for 923 offense, I should say, for Orbit. All in all, it was a really good defense by Quentiam. 923 is really respectable as a defense amount of time. Anything above sort of approaching 8 minutes plus is a really decent defense. So, you know, now Orbit are going to have to hold for a really long time. And you actually saw that Quentiam repelled quite a few attacks, particularly on the first point. The first point, I think it took Orbit at 3, maybe 4 pushes to memory to get even just the first point. And then, of course, you saw Quentiam's lightning hold right in the end of the second point, where all of their players ran out from the spawn doors just as the cart looked like it was going to cap and stop them. Once again, for the third point, Quentiam were slightly held and spawned by Orbit, and then you saw the players come out, get a wipe, and push the cart back some distance again. So they won a lot of the defense fights, and Orbit are going to have to do the same if they want to get that time.
And this is really gut check time. This is where Orbit is going to have to dig deep here, because they got a lot of work to do. As you said, that is a great time out of Quentiam on defense. But now, I think, I mean, if the first map was any indication, Orbit is more than capable of putting up just as good a defense here.
Of course, that's...
Do you think they'll do it?
Well, I mean, I think these two teams are just incredibly closely matched, and 9 minutes that's the time for the entire map. So actually, if Orbit can hold out Quentiam on any of the individual points, they don't need to hold for 9 minutes. They just need to hold for 5 minutes on the first point. It's absolutely doable.
Well, I'm pulling Quentiam here. I think they are going to pull this off. But here come Quentiam walking forward here. They're grabbing some space. Their Mercy Bim gets pretty hurt early on there. But they have a Genji just kind of poking and prodding here. No one has really given, you know, too much space. There it is. Twiggy and Shu jumping right in behind. Shu grabbing Eve. And it's the Mercy flying in to help the Reaper out. The Reaper grabs another one. That is Shu and Twiggy doing so much work here. This is an oh my lord, a great charge there from Reinhardt, grabs the get, but Shu cleans him up again, and the Mercy's actually gonna revive their one player.
Bim even got enough of a enough ulti charge that he got a revive, and that, wow, what a lightning attack for Quentiam. Orbit certainly have the work cut out for them, and Slid's gonna even take down Blakey just for a bit of flavor and saying, is he actually gonna get out? I think he did actually manage to get out of that as well, but one attack for Quentiam. Got it off one attack, and you'll notice the two different defense styles there. Quentiam held most of their players on top of the cafe area, whereas Orbit held a pretty normal hold where most of their players were on the ground instead. So, bit of a different defense style there. Plus, Slid was on the offense as a Genji, which is a bit of a difference as well.
And they're actually grabbing a good amount of space here. I mean, there is the defense they have to worry about up top, but they, you know, even though they are above them, they're getting a lot of movement on the cart, which is a good start. Now the break it down is coming up here, and there's Monkey jumping right in. People are going everywhere. No one has died yet. Twiggy going, it's the angry Monkey. He's bashing people around there. Still not finding kills, but this cart has gone so far. Justice raining from above, not going to get the job done. But there's a revive, and now Shu with the die, still doesn't kill anything. The other res comes in here as a bunch of frags come out of orbit, and they're still going in this chaotic fight here. I think Zuman's in trouble though as Lucio, but he's got Twiggy to support him, and they're grabbing people. That's Eefy going down. It's on if they can grab Daft though, and he's doing work still.
Orbit will hold this point. Shu's actually going to swap now to the Widow play. Second point, Widow. You saw Shu do such an amazing job on defense. Widow. Now you're going to see the same potentially on the offense here. Daft needs to be careful. He's the prime target for Shu. Does he even know?
Don't think they know that he's there. Actually, I think the Lucio might be a little aware there. And it's Slid grabbing Blakey. A nice air shot out of him. A big midi, as it were. But Shu was like up there with running around like he's got a P90 or something, as opposed to a sniper rifle. And I think he's going to be in trouble. But actually, he just spends the entire time distracting as this cart's moving so far forward.
Yeah, Orbiter letting the cart move way too far forward. Slaposaurus is going to come down here and have a slap fight with Twigosaurus. Not Twigosaurus, he's just Twiggy. Slaposaurus versus Twiggy on a slap fight. Slit's going to take down Daft, the fair 1v1. And the Hammer down going to come down for Slap. Only going to catch, I think he got 2 there maybe? Lofty with the double res. Bringing the Orbit plays back, and it looks like they're going to hold once more again. Even though Quentiam got such good amount of movement on the cart, I think Orbit responded a little bit too late to the movement on the cart. They could have probably prevented the cart moving up that far forward, but they did manage to get the kills, and then Lofty coming in with the res to secure the defense positioning.
And we're getting down here on time too. I mean, 4 minutes is still plenty of time to work with. But keep in mind that's also going to be chipping away at the match time, as I think we're about I think we're 4 minutes in, so I think there's a five and a half left to get the next 2 points here, which that's, like I said, it's still a lot of time, but if this defense is going to keep doing as good a job, that could really be crucial.
Well, Quentiam are going to do a different kind of push here. Daft is going to go straight on to Shu. Quentiam getting a lot of presence on the cart once again. They're getting more movement on the cart. Slaposaurus wants to get in there pretty deep. 4 ultis up for both sides. Who's going to initiate first?
Oh, and here comes the break it downs after a few frags going down, and it's all in orbit, but the revives, once again, are so crucial here. They need to be careful, though, if they can grab Bim. That one takes the revive.
Lofty has to live.
Lofty lives. And he finally goes down, but not before he manages to pull the revive out. But the rocket barrage, this is doing so much work. Slid and Twiggy still fragging here. This is looking very good if you're a Quentiam fan. They grab more. That's Twiggy doing all kinds of hammering.
The Hammer will secure this push, and I don't know if Orbit can get their plays up in time. It doesn't look like it. Slaposaurus is the only one that's managed to respawn. Their players are trying to try and get in here. Daft making a final play on the cart, a final suicide probably even. He doesn't want to be that far behind. And Orbit have to make a last stand. Orbit gonna have to make the last stand right here.
It was, to use a TF2 term, the Roamer special, as both soldiers airshot each other quite a ways up in the sky and took each other's lives. Kind of a funny death there. Good old Roamer special. But you are totally right. We do see Blakey on the left here. Could be kind of a bit of a linchpin in this defense if he can grab that crucial replay.
He wants to use it, catches 2, but both the plays he caught were tanks. Misses the charge though. Kiki's gonna get a kill on Sliper. Here comes the fight moving in now. Pretty messy so far, but it's looking in the favor of
Lofty. Doesn't have the revive yet. Finally gets it, and we'll get it before going down there. That is a big revive here, as it's going to keep the Orbit dream alive. However, more frags going down here. Still, Quentiam looking in really chip, but now everybody's fault. The other revive, though.
Blakey doing a lot of work with that res, though. Not a lot of Quentiam plays left. Slap's going deep onto Kiki. He wants to get a frag here, but someone needs to stop Twiggy on the point. Daft will be the play to get in there. Oh, Slaposaurus finally gets taken down, and it's 3v3 now on the point.
Well, the respawns are starting to come in here too, as Shu's grabbing a lot of space in the back there, just chipping into 76. And now look at all the ultimates that are up on both teams here. Count 7 on the field right now with you know, an 8th almost there. Here comes one of them, 2 of them. A few of them are in here. Blakey's jumping forward too.
They have to get more out of this. They have to get more out of this.
Not grabbed
4 ultis still available for Quentiam. They just have to wait out this rocket barrage.
Well, it's actually 5 because Twiggy has that ult now too. He's not quite up yet.
They have everything. Bim has it now as well.
And all they have is a revive and the Reinhardt ult.
And look at this. The cart is also so pushed up. They have all 6 ultis. The cart is pushed up. This is going to be the one. They're going to use everything here and secure it.
They need to grab Mercy early in this fight, and they haven't done it yet. They're grabbing too many shells. This Rez might come in if they're not careful.
Rez! That's big!
That was crucial. This is going to be the win for Quentiam.
Oh, I think that is it. Gonna need confirmation from admin, but I think it's it.
According to my overlay, I think there was about 2 minutes left on the clock for them to push in there. So they had plenty of time to work with that. They had a few more pushes. That's game. Quentiam.
Oh, Lofty they really need to keep Lofty alive right at the end there. If losing the revive, that was the only chance that Orbit had to defend, and they needed to get that defend. But brilliantly secured by Quentiam.
And Daft, I mean, jeez, he was still doing work there. Even though it didn't, he was still going all kinds of ham. You feel?
Yeah, I do feel, and we're going to get a couple of players in for a quick little interview just to get a little bit of, see what they thought about that game. I believe it is going to be Daft and Slid.
And I got to hear some of the discussion as they kind of had a really good fair up there at one point. It was just kind of good work on both sides. In chat, I haven't talked much to you guys out there, Twitch chat.
Twitch
hi,
chat.
I'm Dreamboat. You know, you know me, you love me. We are the two who are going to be interviewing these guys. So if there's anything you want me to say to them, you know, we can spread the love around here. If there's anything you guys want to hear, definitely make that heard, because we're reading you. We know you're there. As we are, as you said, getting Daft and Slid in here.
All in all, I felt the two teams are still quite evenly matched. I mean, even in, I think Quentiam did manage to just outplay Orbit just by a little bit, but the difference in times, I think was it by only 2 minutes? Is that what it was?
It looked to me like it was 2 minutes, although I'm not sure how accurate that overlay is for me.
Just under 2 minutes was the difference in times, and that's actually pretty decently close for these two competitive teams. I think the main differences we saw was that you didn't have Orbit dropped the first point defense extremely quickly. They dropped it in the first push from Quentiam. Quentiam held that first point for a lot longer, and that to me made a really big difference. And of course, on the final point, if they managed to get the res off, that would have made a pretty big difference as well, as you did see Quentiam blow everything into an all-in push. But here we go. Daft and Slidzorge are now in. I don't even know if I said that correctly, so my first question is,
yeah.
How do I say your name?
However you want. Slidzorge is fine.
Slidzorge. Slidzor?
Yeah, whatever.
I just went with Slid.
Everyone says it differently, so I'm used to it.
So, how did you feel about coming out of that game? You've just taken the win. Was that a pretty hard game for you guys on the Quentiam side?
Yeah, that was hard. There were struggles, but no, I played pretty decent. Orbit's always annoying the verse. They're really good people, but yeah.
Do you guys scrim each other much? Do you have?
Yeah, every now and then, yeah. I haven't scrimmed in a while, but yeah, we've scrimmed them before, and yeah, they're good. They're improving. We're improving. It's good.
I'm gonna throw a quick one to Daft really quick. For your first attack on Hollywood, you guys definitely took a few tries to get that first point. What from your perspective, what did you think, like, where were the problems going into that first push that really held you guys back from capping? Hopefully Daft is here.
Daft is having some issues by the looks of it.
Is that working?
Oh,
guys?
hey
Oh,
there.
we go. Hey, buddy.
No, it was definitely breaking into the roof of lounge there. It was the Symmetra setup actually like really messed us up because we just want to get that 76 down on the floor, but yeah, was not expecting it, that's for sure. So it took us a couple runs to make it happen. That's probably what cost us the game in the end.
So you guys had a couple of different holds on that first point of notice as well. Quentiam held most of their players on top of the cafe, and Orbit, you guys held on the bottom. Slid, what was the defense game plan with the players on top of the cafe?
Mainly, what we try to do is just protect the DPS up there and sort of the stick as a ball. If things go too crazy, sort of drop down the side and help each other out. That's normally our like default sort of strat.
Yeah.
And yeah, with the Symmetra sort of backing it up with the turrets and stuff. But yeah, all we got through eventually, which was good. But yeah, I've been practicing that a bit, and it seems to work out pretty well.
Yeah. Daft. Actually, this would be the Quentium. Which push was it? I think it was the Orbit push right on the third point with you guys going for the spawn camp. Did I get that correctly? Was it Orbit that went in for the spawn camp on the last push?
Yeah, he went in for it, I'm pretty sure as well.
You guys did? Or was it Quentium? I think Spicy said something else there. But yeah, going for that, did you feel like you guys could have won it off that push? Or was it more that you felt maybe it was just a play to get as much cart movement as possible and you expected to die there?
It was definitely just to buy as much time as we could, but like it got really close in the end. But yeah, it was just to buy like a lot of space because it's a pain in the ass to get through the warehouse, and it worked pretty well.
Yeah, it did get you guys some really decent cart movement. I'm gonna quickly throw it to Ilios as well. One of the things I noticed was that Quentium didn't have any hit scan to deal with your Ferrodaft. So did you guys eventually kind of get sick of it, and that's why you put Shu on the McCree?
Yeah, a little bit. Shu picked it, like chose it himself because he can deal with it pretty well. I didn't actually tell him to do it, but yeah, he made that decision and it worked okay, but not good enough.
And sticking with Ilios, so you guys lost that map going into Hollywood. How were you guys like? How was the morale there? You know, did you guys were you refreshed or
good.
did you feel?
We felt fine. Like Ilios is like by far our worst map. Like, never win that. It's just horrible. But yeah, we're pretty confident on Hollywood. Yeah, it's disgusting. We're pretty confident on like almost everything else. So yeah, we felt pretty good.
Yeah, I definitely think Shu pulled a lot of work on the Ilios ruins, but it just wasn't quite enough at the end. Did you feel like something was missing right at the end? Because it did look like you guys were bringing that point back.
I think this like communication and this teamwork was sort of lacking a bit. It's just, I don't know, a struggle we have on Koth maps, because normally we just outskill, like individually outskill the people we verse on Koth. That was like our strat for ages, just using our individual skill to just fight and kill everyone else. But now that like teams are getting better and working as a group a lot better, it makes it a lot harder to do that. And I think that's like the main issue, sort of thing.
Yeah, looking like definitely one of the maps I did mention in last night's cast. I think Ilios is one of the lesser practiced maps for a lot of teams, which is obviously going to cause a few issues with teams not being as experienced as possible.
So I did hear you mention that you hate Ilios. I got one question, I guess, for both of you is, what is your personal favorite map? I'll start with Daft on that.
Our personal favorite, it's gotta be King's Row for sure. It's probably one of the maps we've been practicing the most and pulled off the best results as of late. So it's definitely one of our more favorite maps.
How about you, Slid?
Yeah, I reckon King's Row as well. Like
How about
our
you?
team can take points off pretty much every team other than Untitled on Kings. It's just our strongest by far, and it's a pretty fun map.
How about you, Avril? I mean, you know, the caster man.
To be honest, I think I do enjoy King's Row's map, but I quite like Dorado. I think Dorado is a really well-made map. you know, I think a lot of people pick Kings Row, but I'm not a super fan of the hybrid type maps. I feel like um, playing Dorado because it's just a one-way payload. It's just payload all the way, and just sort of the length of the map as well, and the differences in the map layout across that one map is, in my opinion, just really well designed and really fun to play on.
I can agree to that. Dorado's awesome.
Yeah.
And before we end this interview, there is one thing that a surprising amount of people in Twitch chat want out of you, Slid. I want you to drop a beat.
Are you serious?
Do it, man.
Nah, I can't do that. Not today. Not today. Screw that.
Not today.
I need to warm up.
All right, sorry, Twitch chat. I did my best. You heard it here. He is too big a wimp to drop a beat on stream.
Yeah.
Well, you guys did, both your teams did extremely well. It was extremely fun to cast, and I feel like the matches were decently close. I mean, you guys took a map each, and I hope you guys enjoyed playing that, and I look forward to seeing more of you guys in the coming weeks.
Yeah, it's good. Thanks for the cast and all that. And all the
Yeah,
work you
she's
do.
good fast. Appreciate it.
Anytime, guys. Best of luck in the rest of the season.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much.
Catches.
Peace.
That was, of course, Slid and Daft from Quentiam and Orbit, respectively. We're not done, though. We have another game here.